Hello, my name is Doug Whitfield, and I'd like to share with you what I believe to be some extremely valuable information. Now, it's often been said, in order to make good, logical, intelligent choices, we first must have access to good and valuable and credible information. It's our hope that during the course of this video that we can share and impart to you some information that can make changes in your life, create more wellness, more vitality, more energy, and maybe eliminate that environment that attracts diseases. Optimum Detox is a very unique product made from a proprietary extract from the Shadagra yucca plant. Now, when we talk about yucca, people can get confused because they think in terms of being a cactus because it grows in the desert. The yucca is actually a member of the lily family, and there's about 50 different species of yucca around the world, but there's only a handful of them that have any real value from a therapeutic perspective. 3 of them are resident in the southwest of the United States in the Mojave Desert. We have the baccata, the brevifolia, more commonly referred to as the Joshua tree, and then also the Shadagra, which we use exclusively now, more commonly referred to as the Mojave yucca. And the reason we chose the Mojave yucca is that it has a very unique abundance of specific characteristics and different compounds in it that's separated from any other plant. Now, initially, we got started years ago in developing supplements for livestock, soil conditioners, products targeted to the agricultural community. We worked a lot throughout Canada with Agriculture Canada, with the chief agronomist, Guy Lafond in Canada. We did a lot of work in the Poultry Science Division, University of Georgia, working on reducing or eliminating odors in hog barns. We were able to use the yucca to do that. Tests showed that we could eliminate the hydrogen sulfide gases, the methane gases, and also the ammonia levels by over 99%. So in reality, what we were doing is reducing stress for the farmer, for the animal, and also developing a far healthier environment for the farmer to be working in. And the bottom line is that we saved them a lot of money. Fact is that they had more longevity in the barns because we didn't have all the corrosion associated with the ammonia. It was towards the end of the 1980s that our attention got turned more to the health benefits for humans. And how it transpired was through a challenge that my dad had. And he came into my office one day complaining about a bursitis problem that he had, and periodically he'd have to go in and get a cortisone shot. Well, under his arm he carried a magazine called Let's Live, and there was an article written by a Dr. Robert Bingham in there who had done a significant amount of research on this particular botanic, the Shadagra yucca, for the purpose of helping people with arthritis. And through his double-blind studies, which, by the way, the results have been recorded and documented in the Journal of Applied Nutrition, they found that not only did it help with arthritic patients more than anything else he'd ever worked with, but his double-blind studies also showed that it consistently reduced blood pressure, triglyceride levels, and also cholesterol. So there was a lot of side benefits associated with it. So in helping my dad, he in turn turned around and helped some other. What we actually gave my dad was some of the supplement that we were feeding the hogs. So anyways, several months later they called and said that a friend of theirs had a son that was in a wheelchair with a very severe challenge with arthritis, and they shared some of this product with him, and he got more benefits from anything he'd ever tried before. So my parents were encouraging me to start doing more research from a perspective of a health product for humans. So we started working at the University of Calgary with the Dr. Sheldon Roth, who was head of their medical science department, and also the chemistry department, Dr. Frank Baxter, professor there. And in the late 80s, we developed the first liquid yucca extract for human consumption ever in the world. And it helped so many people. There were so many people being helped from it that it caught the attention of the Chinese government in 1991, where they went ahead and started doing studies, and they actually spent $7 million doing a 5-year study with these were all the toxicity studies, finally sarcoma studies, and eventually all the case studies for that product and a second product that we had also developed. In 1996, they awarded us import permits for both products that they tested and gave us an import permit. They give us drug identification number and an import permit. This was the first time ever, and to this day still, those are the only 2 import permits and drug identification numbers issued for Western-based herbal therapy in the history of this planet. And the significance is that China, of course, for over 5,000 years has been regarded as the foremost authority on herbal medicine. But for you to really understand all the benefits and the features from this product, and also understand more about this incredible plant that we extracted from, I want to take you right to the heart of the Mojave Desert.
So here we are, we're right in the heart of the Mojave Desert, and beside me here, we've got a real nice specimen of the Shedagria yucca, or more commonly referred to as the Mojave yucca or yucca. And this is a botanic that we've been working with for the best part of 30 years. And of course, a number of years ago, we actually started using this plant because of its phytosterols and its saponins for agricultural purposes. Because the phytosterols actually act as a catalyst or nutrient to friendly aerobic bacteria cultures, it's able to more readily break down any compactness in the soil by activating those microorganisms so that they can come forth in greater numbers. They produce up to 60,000 times more digestive enzymes, giving the plant's roots easier access to available nutrients. It also has the phytosterols in it, and these are a unique set of plant steroids that have been given to this plant to allow it to not just survive, but actually thrive in these harshest of all conditions. Because you got to understand, here in the Mojave Desert, we have, I believe, the highest recorded temperature on the planet. Temperature sometimes in the summer will exceed 130 degrees, yet in the wintertime at night, it'll go down to below zero, down below freezing. So this plant's subjected to an extreme array of temperature changes. Also, we have flash floods, or we have drought conditions. Sometimes this plant may have not seen water for an entire year here in the desert. The other thing, of course, is we have insect attacks, we have wind here in the desert. So there's a lot of different adverse effects on this plant, and so it's the use of these phytosterols or plant steroids that help reduce that stress and allow this plant to exist under these type of conditions. And it's also those constituents that give it value in the OptimumD tox. Want to talk about a couple other things found in here. Because of our unique proprietary extraction process, we use the leaves, we use the bark, the stem, the stalk, the root, the leaf, every part of the plant. Because in the bark, for example, we've now discovered some amazing compounds called still being compounds. Some of them we're very familiar with now, are big in medical science, called resveratrol. It's found in grapes or red wine. They talk about it. Well, this has an amazing source of resveratrol, but even more important, coming from that same group of still being compounds, is what we refer to as resveratrol analogs, which are similar in molecular structure to the resveratrol, but much more potent in fighting tumors, anti-aging. Also, we have different compounds called eucols that are part of the still being compound. There's 5 different fractions of those, and those are found to reduce the stickiness in blood platelets, so we don't get the plaque buildup or reduce plaque buildup. Tremendous for people with a history of heart disease or stroke. So there's an amazing amount of constituents in this plant that are so nurturing in helping the body heal itself. So when we extract, in our extraction process, we use what we call the cold press, but it's using some proprietary processes while we're doing it. But we use a cold press particularly so that we don't, by reducing or not using any heat, we don't destroy any of the natural enzymes. So the OptimumD tox is actually a complete, whole, functional food. It has all the live enzymes still in it, plus it has all the still being compounds and the saponins. Nice thing about it, of course, when you introduce it, because it's called detox, the phytosterols motivate the friendly flora in the gut to produce more digestive enzymes, much the way they do in the soil. By doing that, they're more readily able to come out and break down any solid waste that's accumulated in the gut over a period of time into tiny particles that now make it easier for the body to flush through. Now, the saponins are able to attach themselves or bind with anything of a toxic nature in the gut, such as bile salts, bile acid, cholesterol, intestinal cholesterol, creating a molecule too large to pass through the gut wall, again, forcing the body to excrete it. So by not reabsorbing the intestinal cholesterol, the product works great on being able to reduce cholesterol in the body as well. We know, and it's often been said, that life and death begin in the colon. So simply put, this product, by able to cleanse the colon and get rid of all that crud that builds up over a period of time, now puts the body in a better posture to get rid of any degenerative or chronic conditions. Number two, puts the body in a better posture so it can absorb nutrients that the cells need. When we're talking about nutrients, aside from all the compounds and the phytosterols and the saponins, we also have a high concentration of all your vitamins, vitamin A, all the B complexes, vitamin C. We have phosphorus, we have zinc, we have copper, we have manganese, we have magnesium. So all of these different constituents go to supporting a healthy body, a healthy lifestyle, and it all comes from this one plant. In the herbal world, this is one of the very few botanics that's recognized as what we call an adaptogen. An adaptogen is that which helps to balance life. So it helps to bring the body back into balance. And let's face it, disease is nothing more than a body out of balance. If we give it the right fuel, the body has the innate ability to go ahead and heal or correct itself and rid itself of that dis-ease aspect. So this is just an amazing plant. It's nothing short of a miracle as far as all the research and studies that we've done, and also proven by thousands of testimonials from people that are continually writing us in, telling us of the benefits that they're getting from the Optimum Detox.
And the reason why I got started on the product was I had acid reflux really, really bad. I was taking like the purple pill, things like that, multiple times throughout the day. And what ended up happening was I started on the Optimum Detox, and within 3 days I was able to get completely off of all acid reflux pills. So it was pretty amazing. And then as an afterthought, about 8 months later, I noticed, I wasn't keeping track of my weight or anything, but I realized that I had lost about 40 pounds after 8 months of being on the product. So it's been pretty amazing.
Actually makes me feel a lot better when I get up in the morning. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm not sluggish anymore. It's like I get up and it's like, okay, I'm ready to start my day and get out the door and let's go do things. And whereas before it would take me a good hour to get out of the house. I'd have to wake up 2 hours ahead of time just to get out of the house because I couldn't move in the mornings. I'd be too stiff to get out of bed, or if I ate breakfast, I would spend half that time in the bathroom not feeling good. And so, but it's really been helping me where I can just actually get up and get out the house if I need to.
I'm blessed with naturally good health. I mean, I take no medications. I do my vitamins in the morning, but age catching up to me, I noticed I was getting a little sluggish. And so, and then like I say, with being exposed to mold for a period of a number of months and having that knock the wind out of me and not being able to breathe, not being able to sleep, not being able to do anything, that the drops just were, for me, a miracle.
I would literally want to lie in bed for way past the alarm clock, way past when I should get up and get going. I was tired. And I was definitely lethargic and kind of sluggish. My system wasn't running well. It wasn't properly eliminating. It was like, and you could tell, I was kind of cloudy, foggy, running through life. Like I would be talking to someone and I would be listening, but I really wasn't hearing. And then all of a sudden I'd snap out of it and be like, oh. And now I feel like I'm on top of what people are saying. I'm on top of what I'm doing. And I'm actually enjoying it. And I'm focused and concentrated. And I love it. I wouldn't miss a day of Optimum Detox Drops. Not one day.
I'm diabetic, so I needed something to give me some more energy and to build up the immune system. And I started taking this about 3-4 years ago and maintained it since then. And I noticed that I have a lot more energy. I know you're looking at me on your TV sets right now, folks, and you're probably not going to believe it, but I'm 97 years old. No, actually I'm 78 years old. And I have a tremendous amount of energy, which I think a lot of it is based on this Optimum Detox, because I noticed from the 3rd or 4th day that I took it that I had a lot more energy. I slept better. And I believe also that my immune system got stronger, because from the time I took it almost 4 years ago, I noticed that I haven't been susceptible to colds, to sneezing, to allergies like I was prior to it. I don't know if, definitely that it's from that, but I mean, when you get that kind of immediate relief from these things that you had all your life, and especially when you're in your 70s, you don't want to have too many colds or anything, because now you're even more susceptible to other problems from it, like pneumonia, et cetera, et cetera. So I've given it, my wife has been taking it. She feels a lot better since she's been on it, and the same results. She used to have a lot of, she has sinus problems, and so she had a lot of allergies because of it, and a deviated septum, which didn't help things too much. But I noticed that also, that as a singer, comedian, originally from the comedy team of Alan and Rossi, that even though I'm in my late 70s, I can still hit the high notes. And I can do it sitting down, which most singers at my age can't even do standing up.
When I was retired in 1991, I felt 90 years old. I subsequently reversed all my health problems and dropped from well over 300 down to around 200 pounds, which is what I weighed when I was got out of the Marine Corps when I was 20 and started on the fire department. Anyway, the exciting thing about the Optimum Detox to me was I had stabilized my weight and waist size for several years at about 215. I was at 215 for about 3 years, but I still had a 44-inch waist. And within about 6 months of taking the Optimum Detox, I dropped to a 36-inch waist. And I changed nothing else in my diet or my exercise program during that time. So I feel like that I'm giving the credit to the Optimum Detox. In my opinion, that's the primary thing that made the difference in being able to firm up. I don't have the hard body